All right. So additional theories would be the Piaget's theory of cognitive development and the formal operation stage. At this point, my mom would have been able to organize thinking, and so understanding like, hey, just because everything is going on with my brother does not mean I cannot still succeed in this world, and that she was not in understanding what the issues are and how to combat them and what she can do to power through them. At this point, she created her own schemas about the world. She wanted and is still a good person and wants to help others. So being able to understand that just because things are going on does not mean that she cannot still succeed and still be a good person. And by helping others, that is how she achieves that goal. Accommodations to change schemas based on lived experience, understanding that because of her gender, she did have a little bit different experience and expectations set upon her by her parents. So because of that, she was able to build her own support system and allow the changing of those support systems based on information, depending on if someone didn't align with her feelings or align with how they believed. She was okay with letting them out of her life or accommodating their feelings, depending on what it was. Going back to how she was able to deal with racial tensions and building relationships with others regardless of the race. This was a big thing because she was able to grow and understand that race is not a deciding factor for a lot of the aspects in life, and allowing the understanding that because someone is Black does not make them any different or any less able or any less respectable than someone who was white. And understanding that prejudice is wrong and racism is wrong, and building support systems around of people who also think that way to be able to adopt multiracial children and raise them into being following in her footsteps of being good people and trying to help others. So the limitations of Erikson's developmental theory would be, one, it places people in stages based on their age, and there's no room for growth or late development. So Mehta 2020 talks about how there is room to grow outside of those stages. So in the article, Establish Adulthood, a New Conception of Ages 30 to 45, it states that their emerging adulthood or adulthood goals or things that are supposed to be done during adulthood are happening later in life. Instead of people creating families and having families by the age of 30 and being fully educated in their life career by the age of 30, that's not happening until the ages between 30 and 45. It's happening much later. So this is a limitation of the Erikson development, because the late development also is okay, because of society changes. We as society do not value those goals anymore until a later stage. Currently for our 20s, it's okay to be still in school, still getting an education, still learning about yourself. And by the time you hit between the ages of 30 and 45, that is when you start building your family, start creating who you are and who you want around you, and creating your career, developing yourself to be an established person. And according to the article, some of these include some of the adult achievements include creating a family, settling into your career. Those just are not happening until much later due to society changes, and that is a limitation of Erikson's developmental theory. It pushes the notion that while we achieve these goals in adulthood, they are happening at different stages, and so this new stage, emerging adulthood, is a new developmental stage. And it allows for more room for growth, and society changes take those things into consideration. And then these were the references. Thank you for and hopefully you enjoyed my presentation.